Zimbabwe's Ian Prior excited for home Rugby World Cup glory. The possibility of hosting the Rugby World Cup is fueling Ian Prior's determination for Zimbabwe in their upcoming match against Namibia. This Saturday, the reigning Rugby Africa Men's Cup champions will face off in Namibia, Uganda, with the winner securing a spot in the Men's Rugby World Cup 2027. While Namibia has consistently participated in the Rugby World Cup since 1999, Zimbabwe hasn't qualified since 1991. For Ian Prior, an Australian-born player with Zimbabwean roots, the prospect of representing his homeland on home soil at such a prestigious event is particularly exhilarating. These are the moments you dream about as a player: grand finals. Matches like this can shape careers, not just for athletes but for coaches and administrators alike, Prior said. It's incredibly exciting, and it's a privilege to be part of it this weekend. Prior's journey to this moment has been marked by relentless effort. Over the past 12 to 18 months, he and his teammates have worked tirelessly, both within and outside the team, to secure their place in the tournament. Their dedication paid off with victories over Morocco and Kenya in the quarterfinals and semifinals, respectively. Despite facing challenging conditions and fierce competition, Zimbabwe managed to score 43 points against Morocco and 29 against Kenya. Prior himself contributed significantly, scoring 37 points, including a crucial drop goal in the semifinal. We faced wet conditions in the first game and encountered strong defensive pressure from Kenya in the second, which limited our ability to showcase our attacking prowess fully, Prior explained. However, we adapted well, demonstrating our resilience and versatility as a test match team. The final showdown against Namibia promises to be another grueling contest. Zimbabwe defeated Namibia 32-10 in the previous semifinals, marking their first victory in 23 years and only their third in history. Prior acknowledges the challenge ahead. Namibia is a formidable opponent. They've proven their quality over the past 7 Rugby World Cup campaigns, and they'll bring intense defensive pressure. It's up to us to execute our strategy effectively over the 80 minutes, he stated. For Prior, qualifying for the Rugby World Cup would be the perfect way to cap his illustrious career. At 37, he's no longer a full-time professional but continues to train rigorously, motivated by the World Cup dream. This opportunity means everything to me, especially considering my background. I'm the only Australian-born player in my family, and representing Zimbabwe feels incredibly special, Prior said. On the other hand, Namibia's head coach, Jacques Burger, brings his own passion and experience to the table. Having participated in 3 Rugby World Cups as a player, he's eager to guide his team to a 4th appearance, this time as their coach. Playing in the Rugby World Cup is an unparalleled experience. It's a chance to represent your country against the world's best, and that's what every player dreams of, Burger shared. We'll do everything possible to make that dream a reality for our team. For the losing team, the road to the Rugby World Cup isn't entirely closed. The runner-up will face the United Arab Emirates next weekend in the Asia-Africa playoff, with a chance to secure a spot in the final qualification tournament in November. But here's where it gets controversial. Will Zimbabwe's rich history of rugby come to a head in this decisive match? Or will Namibia's experience and determination prove too much? Only time will tell. What do you think? Will Zimbabwe secure their place in the Rugby World Cup? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Zimbabwe's triumphant return to the Rugby World Cup, victory over Namibia. Imagine the thrill of a nation returning to a global stage after a quarter-century absence. Zimbabwe's journey to the Rugby World Cup is nothing short of remarkable. In a nail-biting finale of the Rugby Africa Cup in Kampala, Zimbabwe emerged victorious over Namibia with a score of 30-28, securing their spot in the 2027 World Cup in Australia. This victory marks their first participation in the tournament since 1991, making them one of 24 teams set to compete. This isn't Zimbabwe's first rodeo in the Rugby World Cup. They've made 2 previous appearances, including the inaugural tournament in 1987. Known as the Sables, Zimbabwe entered the final as the defending champions of the Rugby Africa Cup, having bested Namibia in the semifinals just a year prior. The match was tightly contested, with both sides tied 16-16 at halftime. Early in the second half, Godfrey Muzinagwo and Brandon Mudzekenyidze scored crucial tries, putting Zimbabwe in the driver's seat. However, Namibia, coached by the experienced Jack Burger, formerly of Saracens, staged a spirited comeback. JC Nell and Adrian Buisson managed to score tries, reducing the deficit to just 2 points with 10 minutes left. Despite their efforts, Namibia couldn't close the gap. With 10 minutes remaining, Tian Swanepoel, a substitute for Zimbabwe, missed a penalty from within his own half, but the game remained out of reach for Namibia. In the 79th minute, the final nail in the coffin came when Namibia failed to convert a crucial penalty, sealing Zimbabwe's hard-fought win. This triumph signals the end of Namibia's impressive run of qualifying for every Rugby World Cup since 1987, a streak that saw them join fellow African nation Ivory Coast in the 1995 tournament. Zimbabwe's return means they'll be competing alongside current champions South Africa. But here's where it gets interesting for Namibia. They're not entirely out of the running just yet. In a playoff scheduled for the following Saturday, they'll face off against the United Arab Emirates, the runner-up of the Asia Rugby Men's Championship. The winner of this match will advance to the final qualification tournament in Dubai in November, where they'll vie for one of the last few spots in the expanded 2027 World Cup. What do you think? Should Zimbabwe's return to the World Cup be celebrated as a testament to resilience and perseverance, or does Namibia's near miss deserve more recognition? Share your thoughts in the comments. Zimbabwe secures Rugby World Cup 2027 spot with Africa Cup victory. Imagine the exhilaration of a nation as Zimbabwe secures its first Rugby World Cup spot since 1991. The Sables, as they are affectionately known, clinched the Rugby Africa Men's Cup title in a nail-biting final against Namibia at the Mandela National Stadium in Uganda. This victory not only secured their place in the Rugby World Cup 2027 in Australia but also marked a historic return to the top tier of international rugby. But here's where it gets controversial. While some might argue that Zimbabwe's journey to the World Cup is a testament to their resilience and skill, others might question whether the team has the depth and consistency to compete at the highest level. Let's dive into the details of this thrilling match and explore the implications for Zimbabwe's rugby future. The journey to this triumphant moment began with a fierce battle on the field. Godfrey Muzinagwo, the player of the match, summed up the team's mindset perfectly. For us, now, it's back to the drawing board. We don't want to go to the World Cup just to be there. We want to go there and compete and put Zimbabwe on the map. This statement underscores the team's ambition and determination to make a significant impact on the global stage. The credit for Zimbabwe's impressive performance was attributed to the unwavering support from back home, particularly the coaches who worked tirelessly behind the scenes and the teammates who pushed each other to greater heights. The match itself was a rollercoaster of emotions, with both teams trading points, tries, and cards in the first half. Namibia's Cliven Lopesha and Zimbabwe's Ian Prior exchanged early penalties, setting the stage for a tense and exciting final.